Now, if you've been watching Sky News this morning, you'll have seen our remarkable story about Buddhist monks who are on a mission to save the tigers of Thailand. They've become victims of their own success because the tigers are so happy in their temple home. They're breeding cubs, and now there's too many for the monks to look after on their own. Joining us now in the studio is documentary director Andrew Barron, who made the film. Andrew, good to have you with us.
Hi, nice to be here.
Now, spending time in that environment, I imagine, must have affected you in a fairly profound way. What struck you most about the way in which the monks are rearing these tigers?
I mean, what I think is interesting about the place out there, it's very spiritual. It's not just a zoo, it's not just people looking after tigers for conservation. They actually believe that the tigers are reincarnated spirits of their friends. So when they look after a tiger, they're not looking after an animal, they're looking after someone they knew. They're looking after someone that they can see whose character it is in the tiger. So they're looking after a person. And that's quite a different approach to animal conservation than anywhere I've seen anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, certainly different than anything I've ever heard of. But they are, I suppose, getting fairly concerned about the rate at which the tigers are breeding cubs, even though they might be reincarnated spirits of their friends. What exactly...
They've got a lot of friends.
Yeah, I know. What exactly do the monks think that they can do about that, to house all these animals?
Well, what's changed, I went there first time 2 years ago. There was a documentary on Animal Planet last year to introduce the place, and what we found was a mythical sanctuary. We got monks, we got tigers, we got everyone living in harmony. I went a year later and it's all changed. There are now just 4 monks there, 16 tigers, and they've got to do something, and what they're trying to do is turn it into a conservation centre. So it's already turned the corner. Even seeing it after a year, it's just amazing how much that place has changed. The monks now no longer look after the tigers. They've got trained tiger handlers involved. They're getting international conservationists involved. So it's no longer the mythical place it once was, but it's turned the corner. It's becoming, they hope, an international tiger conservation centre.
I imagine that the safety of the animals, as well as the humans who come into contact with them, must be of paramount importance. How do the monks deal with that?
Well, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a tiger island, which is going to be a sanctuary for the tigers in the middle of the temple complex, surrounded by a moat. That will then limit the amount of contact that the tigers have with human beings, which can only be a good thing. They are very tame tigers and they are hand-reared, but at the end of the day a tiger is a tiger. It would be much safer to get the tigers in their own enclosure, living in their own little world, and that's what the monks are aspiring to build. Now, it's been 2 years now trying to build this tiger island. They're not that much further along with the plans. They are building cages and tiger research stations, but they need to get that finished, and in order to do that they need to get international sponsors and international help. And I think that's what they're appealing for.
Has the breeding programme had much of an impact on overall numbers of tigers?
Yeah, I mean, I think something like 9 tigers now have been born there. And I wouldn't say it's a breeding programme. What we've got here, we've got Eastern conservation. Now, Western conservation is the tiger species healthy as a species? Eastern conservation is this actual tiger happy as an individual tiger? So they will look at the tiger, if it's happy in itself, if it's having cubs, if it's happy enjoying its life, then you've achieved Eastern conservation. Western conservationists sometimes look at the place, they're not sure whether it's the right way to bring up a tiger, but it's an Eastern way, and it's once you get your head into that, you realise it's not a breeding programme, it's actually just tigers doing what they do, the monks just looking after them as best they can.
Was there ever any suggestion that they would be released into the wild?
Well, the abbot does have this pipe dream that he wants to repopulate the Thai forest with these tigers. In all reality, no one has ever successfully released a tiger back into the wild. It takes 2 years for a tiger mother to train its cubs to hunt. No human has ever been able to fulfill that role. So, unfortunately, although the abbot says in the film on Wednesday that he wants to repopulate the Thai forest with his tigers, it's more complicated than that. Some research has got to be done. Someone has actually got to pioneer a way of releasing big cats into the wild, and I think it's going to be a very difficult thing for them to achieve. But that's what they want to do.
And I understand that they feed the tigers. Oh, I was going to go on, but I'm afraid we've run out of time. Andrew Barron, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Temple of the Tigers Revisited will be shown on the Sky Channel Animal Planet on Wednesday 26th of October at 10 p.m.